Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. This is Pixelia here with the spiciest of prawns with us tonight, Mr. Spicy Prom from DG. How are you doing, my man?
Good to be here. Good to see you. Watched your show in Tominoya for quite a while, so happy to be here and happy to chat with you.
Thank you for being here today, man. It's been a couple interesting years, couple years since we started doing this. I've seen DG changing radically and drastically over the past couple of years, which is amazing. I've been there on the sidelines watching, and I also join in the in the fun of the casino. But the DG team is quite interesting. It's one of the most consistent teams on the space, I would say, and um, that's more or less what I like to know. But before we jump into the spicy stuff, uh, why don't you tell me how was it that you first got involved with crypto, and how did that process led you to the central and to the DG team?
Sure,
What's
definitely.
like your origins?
Um, so yeah, I first the spicy origin story.
Yeah.
So I was like a lot of people, I suppose, first exposed to Bitcoin. But my reasons for being exposed to Bitcoin was to play poker online primarily. And so I was doing that since I don't know, probably 2014, give or take. And then really when Coinbase added Ethereum, they kind of piqued my interest and started researching into that. And honestly, that just kind of consumed me a bit and kept learning more about Ethereum. Started building some miners and things like that. And you could really see a lot of the potential with the theories from 2016, 17 as far as what's reality today. So it's really been a crazy ride in general with DG and even just crypto outside of DG, of course. And the way that I found DG is that when Ethereum started getting really popular, at least in my opinion, um, gas fees started to get rather expensive, and I was doing some research just for my own personal self about MaticNet. And at that time, I think DG had been up for maybe a few months, give or take. And so I hopped into Decentraland because I wanted to try out their games, being they were live on MaticNet. And once I got in there, I basically just kind of never left. I really liked what I found. It was a great time. You could really see the potential of what could be possible with kind of a new sort of casino or metaverse, mixed with all these games and things like that I've loved my life. So it was really a combination of a lot of passions for me between blackjack. When I was a kid, I used to have a sleepover with some friends, and my mom would like deal us blackjack with quarters. It's kind of funny. It's just always been part of part of my life, and to combine that with crypto and honestly all the wonderful people I get to work with in the community too. That's always so great and supportive. It's really just been, like you said, a crazy few years now, and really looking forward to the next few as well. But that is how I found DG and Decentraland, and ended up just never leaving.
How like what was the first thing that you started doing when you got involved with DG? What was your first role?
My first role, so basically when I got in here, I had reported a couple bugs. Like I said, it was just a few months after they launched and things like that, and just really enjoyed playing here. And so I basically just offered to work for free. I was like, hey, if you guys want to give me an opportunity, I'll try to work my butt off and see, what can happen. And so I was kind of working as like a part-time support more so than anything. And then over, the course of the next 6 to 12 months, it just kind of progressed naturally into different roles and kind of taking on some more responsibility and whatnot. And then Fast forward to today where I'm heavily involved kind of in the metaverse product process among some of the operations and things like that as well. So it's been kind of also been a whirlwind as far as the spicy experience here at TG. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning experiences, a lot of both highs and lows, just depending on what's going on, different things. As I'm sure with crypto, and especially being kind of a scrappy tech startup in crypto, there's some volatility with that too. But overall, it's been a really really good few years, and now I think more than ever we're in a good place to have a great next few years too.
Yeah, I think the same. There's a lot of changes with DG. The blast migration. How is that gonna like impact the metaverse product or the community itself? Like from your perspective, what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, definitely. So the blast migration is kind of it's very broad. I guess I would say addition to the ecosystem. That's been pretty exciting so far. We've definitely gotten a handful of new people, a lot of activity from the Blast network. There seems to be a lot of excitement from when it launched, and still going on today between the gold and Blast points and everything that's going on there. Their protocol has some pretty cool built-in features that are somewhat new to a layer 2 chain like that, such as kind of like the native farming and incentives really to use their chain at the base protocol level. As far as metaverse specifically, being able to give out gold and points really is the huge one, and just being able to welcome more people on from BlastNet with kind of some aligned incentives there and whatnot, and really try to, especially from our end, try to improve and make the metaverse experience all it can be to get these users in and make sure they have a good time, and get them coming back for more. So it's really the base of it, definitely, and that's part of too why we're excited. We've been grinding on our new Plinko game for a while now, and we're really excited to get that in there.
That looks fun, to be honest with
you. Definitely, it's been a bit since we've added a new game in the metaverse, so really excited to add both Plinko and metaverse, along with some new games in our Pocket Casino as well. I think that'll really help a lot with our users having a good time.
In terms of the metaverse user experience, like what are you currently working on? Like is there like something happening in the central land besides what's going on, or what's going to happen once the wearable functionality changes? Like will that still have, like, will there be still poker in the central, and will there not be poker in the central? How's that gonna work?
Definitely. So there will still be poker. As many as their challenge mode will be going away with some of the shifting of the premium or all access wearable incentives, or utilities rather. But poker will definitely still remain, with or without challenge mode. So some things that we're going to be doing is kind of reworking Diamond Hand City a bit to make sure that we still have community events and things like that can be open for everyone there. So even if you are in an area or something like that where you can't participate in, say, cash games, or you just don't necessarily want to participate in cash games versus the challenge mode experience, we're still going to have some options where we can provide a very similar experience for some of the community events like that, where you can still, for example, play either cash games or some free tables in order to get bounties and interact with the community and participate in things like that. So, while there are going to be some changes, of course, fairly significant ones as it relates to challenge mode, we definitely want to keep that part of the community active and having a good time. And so, we'll kind of see how things end up. I think we have a pretty good plan right now to, with those changes, keep everything rolling and see how that goes. And anything that we have to add or change, we are are more than down to do that. So excited for that. It'll be a big change, but I think it'll work out.
Yeah, I think that the that it is indeed a big change, but I also think it'll work out for the best. Like you were just saying, your in your origin story, uh, you've been gambling with or without crypto for a while, you know. So it is the fact that DG is a metaverse casino, um, and not only a metaverse casino, in my opinion, the best metaverse casino, makes it amazing. The reason being the central one. The central one adds that social ingredient that you don't get anywhere else in the metaverse. Um,
Definitely, and we
that
do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go
Oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
okay. No, yeah, it's what I originally, of course, was exposed to DG with was the Decentraland uh, metaverse casino, and is something that I've always loved, and still to this day, it's super fun hopping in there, being able to see people, especially once you kind of build some of those community relationships and things like that. You can hop in and see somebody on a table across the room and instantly recognize who that is. And that's just one of many things that's unique to this experience. And even with poker too, where last week I was playing poker, and Tua was on the table, and we had this kind of like stare down where he would raise and turn his avatar and look at me, and I would look at him the other way, and we would get closer. And it was just, there's always reminders of why it's a unique experience, and why it's just a certain level of fun that you don't necessarily get with some other platforms. And yeah, really excited just to keep expanding on that, along with our 2D and Pocket Casino offerings as well. Really just having a more full product suite that anybody can use anytime, whether you're on desktop and you want the social experience, or whether you just want to hop in and play on your lunch break on your phone for a little bit, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, just really excited, especially for the coming months, and especially the coming years as well, to really go all out on both of those things.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. I was just thinking about this. You have, like, you started, as you said, like you started offering your help to the team, then you just became part of the team. What has been your biggest challenge so far?
That's a good question. My biggest challenge, there's been a handful of things. I guess I would say a couple of the main things. Well, first off, I have some very good people to learn from when I do have challenges here, from Ryan, Miles, Leo, guys that have a lot of experience in sort of different areas of a startup like this. So that's been really great. As far as the product side of things, really just a challenge on, there's a bit of a learning curve, I guess I would say, on the planning and timing and everything like that for releases and et cetera, where you want to make everything good and stable. You want to bring new and exciting things in at the same time, but making sure that you kind of hit both of those notes as you're going along, and you're getting releases out and things like that. So that was something that came pretty quickly, but it was certainly a learning experience. And of course, learning more about our developers and things like that I get to work with all the time. And I guess the other thing too is just like I said, with crypto being volatile, occasionally there are great highs and also some lows. So just grinding and learning how to work through that, and keeping your mind on the goal. And everybody here has a great mentality, a great grind set. So even if it's not the best week in crypto, or there's other things going on, we really keep focused on the future and what we need to deliver. And that's been a great tool to have too, is just to be surrounded by like-minded individuals like that, who always reaching for the next step, always looking for the next thing, and just keep grinding all the time. So that's probably the two big ones that come to mind.
Well, yeah, that if I was just thinking that it does sound like a fun ride. Like I believe that having a great team makes a huge difference. You know, like when you're like, regardless of what you're doing, what you're working on, the most important thing to get things done is who you're working with. You know, the who you're working with, it's makes a huge difference. It makes the difference on even, you know, whether you enjoy your job or not. You know, like
Yeah,
it's very important. So as far as the BG team goes, how 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 is the dynamic in the team? Like because you're in charge of something very, uh, I would say, important, which is the community, right? The community provides a huge amount of feedback on the product, or it can also be used as a compass to decide, you know, where to go next. You know,
definitely, definitely.
how does that like impact their vision of what needs to be done? Because um, you know, like I can imagine Miles making decisions based on numbers, but the community is not something that can be measured as accurate as other aspects of a of a company like this. You know.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, the community honestly plays a huge role. Um, Always has, and everything from ideas to feedback on something that we're working on, or maybe a DAO proposal or things like that. The community has a constant influence, even if maybe they don't have a direct reply or something. We're always there, we're always reading, and taking that into account. Whether it's myself or Miles or our wonderful support. They're always passing on feedback from people as well, and yeah, I mean it's huge. It's huge. We want more than anything to have our community be strong and have a good time and everything like that. So regardless of what we're doing, what we're working on, or like you said, obviously numbers to a point and kind of aspirations and things like that all play a role in it. But I mean, yeah, it's always community feedback is huge. And whether that means that we do some small changes or some major changes or kind of shift focus on what we're working on or whatever the case may be, community always has a huge influence and will always have a huge influence on us for sure.
Well, one of the things I love the most is the community beta tests. You know, when a new product is going to be released. I think that for me was the first time I heard that you guys did beta tests. That was the moment for me where I said like this is a whole different thing. You know,
Definitely, definitely, and it's super fun. I mean, it's twofold for the beta test, right? One, we get a ton of good data. For example, even with Plinko, and we've had beta tester groups for years now, where people from the community can come in and test our newest releases or newest products well before they're released, and we get, like I said, we get a ton of great data from that. We find some things that maybe testing by ourselves or this or that doesn't necessarily expose. And then on the flip side, we get our community excited about what's coming out. We get a lot of great suggestions from that on some changes that we could do or some enhancements we could do. And so that all kind of plays into well, once a release or update or a new product or game comes out, it's gone through a lot of iterations from both technical perspective and the feedback from our long-term community members that are in the beta tester group. So it's really been a great tool to have from our side, and it's a lot of fun too, just to get some hype going and be able to show them something new without having to necessarily rush it to production. We want to make sure everything is solid and stable and working great for everybody. So it's really just a wonderful thing to have.
yeah, indeed it is because like I can only think, what if, like, for instance, the GTA creators did that, like, you know, a beta test to see what's up. No, if the game's already cool as it is, how much cooler could it be if they did that? You know?
Definitely, definitely.
What uh, being so active with the community yourself, or within the community yourself, and working directly with the community, what there has to be fun stories, man. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely some fun stories. There's both. Yeah, there's both sides of stories. I'm sure, for sure.
just please do share the one that you remember the most out
I'll
of
have to
out
think
of it.
a little bit here. Some of my most fun community stories. I would have to say, there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm trying to think of something really specific. Um, I suppose some of the things are at least for me, some of the content that you see on social media and stuff like that. It always makes me laugh, whether it's kind of like a short or people are emoting, or things like that, where you kind of it's a collaborative thing. When you're in world, that one's not very specific. There's always some good banter between some certain members of our Discord that I won't name, which can be there's all sides of it that to some level brings the whole thing together. But no, really, it's always the back and forth. It's always the constant feedback or things like that. It's hard to name one thing specifically because there's just been so much going on. I'm trying to think.
Have you seen the Baby Boss song? Like, have you listened?
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That was awesome when it came out, and I still have it in my YouTube favorites. I frequent it every now and then. Really good job, especially by Melito. He's put out a few of the ice related or DG related, songs, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
they're
We're
always
good.
just awesome.
We mess a lot with it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good example. That's probably one of the top ones. That's another a good avenue to go is some of the wearables, right? Where you release something like the Baby Boss Christmas sweater or chip that I got over here.
mhm.
It just kind of causes a community unity behind something that is either just
Oh,
lovable
yeah.
or
Oh,
whatever.
dude. Yeah, I remember Mikey C's Chip and Dale's. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was doing like these short stories with the monkey, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's probably got to be one of my favorite things. Where we've seen it with Chip, we've seen it with Richard the robot, some of the boss sweaters, etc. Where it just kind of it gives a new layer to the community and and trying to obtain these items and things like that. It's always just kind of funny, and all the memes that come from that too is wonderful.
The meme contests are just they alone pay for the internet.
Yeah, the internet could not be without the memes.
Uh, mm, as far as DG goes, what is the like I'm asking because there's, like I said, a lot of changes happening right now. Um, what's what's the next step from the community perspective for this like new era of DG? Like what are the expectations for the team, like from the team or on your end, as far as taking the community to broader metaverse maybe? There's a lot of worlds out there to explore. So has that been even like questioned or put on the table? Is that something that you're cooking maybe, or is
Um,
that
yeah, I mean it's always something that's been on the table, right? I mean between everything with the other side or other there's always Decentraland has a big first mover advantage, but of course there's been a ton over the last few years that have come up, and some pretty cool projects and things like that. As far as sort of another metaverse direction, there's really nothing. The one thing I would say is for sure is that we will always be in Decentraland. So even if there is another project in the future, this or that, there's definitely no just one or the other. It would be fun to expand, and things like that, or do some projects of that nature. But I guess I would say, as of right now, that's the one thing for sure. And yeah, I mean, expectations from our end is really just to keep polishing the product, keep delivering new and exciting features, and really get our current community and our long-term community members, making sure they have a good time, making sure they have opportunities with their premium wearables and things like that, and also making it really easy to welcome new people in. Between our really industry-leading bonus incentives, and not even including Blast Gold, but even just our cashback, rake back, the bonuses for holding premium wearables that's coming, all that stuff. It's really tailored towards both keeping our current community engaged and having a good time, as well as hopefully easily onboarding new waves as well to participate in this and add into our community.
Yeah, that's and what about the token bag? You like unifying the tokens. It's also like at least the way I see it, it's like a huge thing. It allows you to just seamlessly interact with the platform ecosystem and product. You know,
Definitely. That was one of the big things that we wanted to accomplish, I would say, with sort of the migration and the rebranding to Beg, is that just to first and foremost simplify the ecosystem, right? We've seen this kind of feedback a handful of times with new people where they don't know if they should buy a ICE or DG or XDG, or how to stake it, or what steps to take. And so sort of simplifying all of that and putting it under a single token that's on multiple chains, giving everybody a easy way to participate, or an easy way to earn bonus rewards, an easy way to vote on governance and make proposals on multiple chains just by holding a single token, we thought would be really beneficial at this point, especially for welcoming on the next wave of users, where sometimes I think we become used to some of these things and don't necessarily realize right away that it can be some difficult onboarding with that. And yeah, for that reason, really just simplify it and appeal to hopefully a lot more people without having to dig in and do a ton of research. I'm sure I and yourself have maybe looked into a project and it just seems so complicated and this and that, whereas you end up just not even using it, and that was something that we definitely wanted to avoid.
I was remembering that very early on, I had a conversation with Elliot.
Lay down.
Your
Oh
dog
no!
is crazy.
Yeah, he's jumping on me. I was trying to. He's all excited. He thinks I'm having a conversation. It must be.
You see that closed the door behind me, right? My dog is on the other end of it with his little new brother, and they just made a mess because I won't open the door.
Yeah, he's just all excited now. I guess he wants.
I was telling you, I was talking very early on. This was a long time ago with Elliot the goat. He was part of the DG team back then. And I told him that, like, why, if DG is crypto based ecosystem, why does it need so many tokens? Just, it would be a lot easier if there was just the one token where that can have that holds all the utility that the others do. And at the time, his reply for me was, "You should talk to Spicy about this." I never did, by the way, but I should have done it back then. Maybe I will later on, like not today, but in a later conversation, I will for sure ask you, because it was a long conversation and interesting as well. but boring for interview for interview purposes. Um, so Spicy, what's next for you? Like, what are you what are you? The reason what I was asking you, not what not what's next for you. No, I'm sorry, I got lost for a second. The reason why I was asking you about expansion of metaverses was because of your monkey face. I see that the Dookie Dash. I think that it just launched a couple months ago, the final version, right?
Yeah, I think the second, yeah, they made some changes to it, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yep, yep.
And then other side is about to pop up or whatever. That's why I was asking you, because I know, or I noticed, or I've seen that a lot of you guys in DG are also members of the Bored Ape community, right?
Yeah,
So.
yep, definitely. Um, yeah, and that's been, I mean, it's been really more than anything uh, the monkeys have been a way to sort of network and build out that side of things even more so. And yeah, definitely interested in the other side. I've gone on a few of the trips, if you will, where it's sort of like a demo journey or this or that,
Mhm,
and that's been a lot of fun. So, definitely excited to see that come out sooner than later. Hopefully, I know that it's been in development for quite a while, but it is quite a big project. But yeah, even being able to meet a lot of people in NFT NYC a couple years back, and networking with people, and sort of all the sharing our project as well, has been really fun with kind of the outside of DG communities, especially obviously for myself. The Bored Ape community has been a huge part of my crypto journey, and the reason actually that I found out about the Bored Apes was that we did a show for them in Tomanoya way back shortly after they minted, and at that point I hadn't had really any profile picture NFTs or things like that, but I
mhm,
kept seeing these funny apes on the wall and thought, I don't know why, but I just kind of like those. And so between that, and then they did the dogs as well. That was super cool, and the mutants and things like that. It's been a fun one to be part of.
mm. It is the like one of the OG collections on the NFT space.
Definitely,
So.
definitely, and I mean, profile picture NFTs in general have definitely kind of been on a bit of a downswing, which is only reasonable considering the last few years of them emerging and having some crazy times. So, but I guess I wasn't planning on selling my monkey. It's very sort of tied to my identity at this point too, and gives me a sort of a second identity away from real life. So it's a lot of fun, and yeah, being part of that community too is a good time. It's a very kind of similar to DG in a way, community that appreciates the meme culture.
That's that I can see as well, like on daily basis. Like I said, the memes alone they pay for the internet. Um, Spicy, just to kind of wrap it up, what would you like? What would your words of wisdom or your bit of knowledge to share on would be for the new user? Let's imagine that there's a new user today in the casino watching this. Like what would your words of advice would be, uh, considering that this is happening in the central, and this is an entire world. So like what would you say to that first time user, because we know that the central has a lot to offer and can be very overwhelming.
Definitely, definitely. To the new first-time user, especially one who has been in crypto or this or that, and just kind of finding us for the first time, I would say the biggest thing is, get in our Discord. If you have some bag, hop in our governance channels and things like that, and communicate with the community and our team. When it comes down to it, we really want to build
the best experience possible for you, our community. And so, the best way that we can do that is to hear from our current community, and also all of the new people that are coming in, and seeing what their experience is like, and being able to make some adjustments or enhancements or things based on that, and really kind of um, you, everybody has the power for sure to influence, say the next months, the next years of what's going on here. So if there's things you want to see, or things that you have different expectations of, especially when you hop in and start playing, that might be the same for a handful of other people. So I would say, the best advice I could give is hop in our Discord, be part of the community, hang out at the events, and really sort of dive into the social and DAO aspect of what this metaverse casino could be.
Yeah, it's always fun with friends.
Exactly,
It's like
exactly.
sharing makes it better.
Yeah. If
Spicy.
mhm.
It's no. Go ahead.
No, I just totally agree. I mean, if you go into an empty, casino, it's a much different experience than if everybody's playing and having a good time, and you see somebody raining money, or making some blackjack bets, or seeing entertainment such as yourself and Melito, and DJs and other things going on. It really is able to make a different experience than what we've seen, especially for online casinos, where you're typically put on a table or this or that, and there's really not a whole lot of uh,
Interaction.
personality to it, And so the personality is certainly what separates us, and everybody that's in the casino attributes to that. So definitely.
Yeah, I would say that being able to properly teabag someone after you take all their shit, it's what makes it so beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can go, emote something to Pepe the dealer,
Yeah,
if he breaks your heart a few times in a row, and you know.
like he always does. And yeah, big shout out to Chef Sauce for cooking so many amazing things in his
Yeah,
kitchen. Because God damn it, the boy got skills.
absolutely. He always keeps it fun between the wearables and the emotes, and everything else going on.
Look,
Um,
the only emotes that I try are his. Like on the marketplace, you can just try them. Like I just crack it up. They're so funny. Like I don't know how he does it. He's a beast.
yeah, him and we've got some modelers like Yanakis, who's been in DCL for a while and stuff like that too. And yeah, they can really take a vision and make it a reality, whether that's funny emotes, or top tier wearables, things like that. um like the
Mm,
shirt I have on, my sweater, this chip over here.
yeah,
All that a product is just of having fun, and between Sauce and the team he works with, being able to put that to reality.
yeah. He's big respect. Big respect to all the DG team. You guys work nonstop. It's like you never stop. You guys need to chill for a second, maybe.
No, no chill. Like Miles always says, we'll
We'll
sleep when
sleep
we're done. Yeah,
when we're done. Yeah, when
yeah.
we're done or when we're dead.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It's a good perspective. Like I always tell my wife when I'm driving, I'm messing with her. I'll tell her like I won't stop accelerating until we meet God, or
Yep,
I crash.
yep. Either
Yeah,
either first place or not.
yeah.
But
First place or meet God in the process with stuff.
definitely, there's nothing worse than some of the projects out there where they do a ICO, or they mint out a collection, or whatever the case may be, and you don't hear from them for months, or there's no updates or things like that. And that's something that I'm very proud to say I don't think we've ever been, or ever will be. We always are looking to the next 5 steps ahead, and then accomplishing those one by one, and making sure to keep advancing in the space, and deliver not only for our current community and players, but you know getting new ones to come in as well for that. So It always keeps it fun, really. I think all of us, we love to be busy. We love to have new and exciting things coming out. Um, so we definitely feed into each other on that front.
Yeah, quitting is easy and building is hard, but you know, hard things are the ones that really deserve the attention because they're worth it. At least that's the same mentality that we have with Milito. When we were starting this, we said like if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it properly, and we'll stop once we die. Just see what
It-
happens.
it's it's great, and like it's always a mentality I've taken my whole life too. Is anything that's worth it, is not easy. Whether it be education or sports or your work, it's really nice to, I think, come into your own and tap into that as something you're passionate about, such as yourself and Melito, or such as myself and the team at DG, is really being able to put our passions into our work. It's not just something where you clock in and clock out. Um, that's really never been the case. It's always um, having fun at what you do, and and
Mhm.
and then the effects from that is that you're able to accomplish a lot. And yeah, just really personally, feel fortunate that I get to rely on my passions and be able to grind with that on a day-to-day basis. Something
It's
that
it's something to feel blessed for. You know?
absolutely, absolutely.
So it's good words of wisdom to end the interview, my man.
For sure. Always chase your passions. Always whatever you find yourself grinding on all the time,
Yeah, it's
keep going
balling.
with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, aping, as they say. My
Yeah.
man, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. You know, um, the stories you shared, and thank you for real. You know?
Of course. Of course. Thank you for the invite. I loved chatting with you, and look forward to watching more of these.
Yeah, we'll be seeing each other on Tuesday. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Take care, my friend.
You too.
Have a good one. Bye bye. Oh, raining cash. Let's go. Bye bye.
See ya.